Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful day. I hope you have been enjoying the last five sessions. Today is the sixth session. We don't have a lot to cover today, but we still have a lot to cover. I mean, when you consider on the basis of context, so all you will learn today is just one a new context or one new aspect of grammar, that is conjunctions, and that's all you have to learn. But conjunctions are very important. By the way, maybe thumbs up so that I know you can hear me and you can see the screen. See the screen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. All right. Any point of time, guys, feel free to interrupt and ask any questions. I do have an agenda, but I'm always. It's best if I answer your questions rather than just keep talking about what I think you should learn. Okay. So you will learn conjunctions. So you see all of some of you have already seen. If you were there in A1, A2. By the way, you should know some of them, and you should know also why I have written. So this is one category, then this is one category, this is another category. So I have written them separately because the grammar changes when you use them. When I say grammar changes, it simply means that the position of the verb changes, whenever you in German language, right? So the only thing that happens when you talk about grammar is that the position, like there are many things that happen when it comes to like positioning of the subject and verb. It's the verb that is the most important part, right? Where is the verb? And that's what happens when you use this and this, like how do they change. That's what we will learn. Apart from that, you will also learn what is the like this minor differences. Okay, not minor, but minor or subtle or sometimes very big differences between when, als, when, ob, when versus wann, seit versus seitdem, and sometimes also logistics differences. By logistics I mean like they mean the same, but like for example seit and seitdem you can use most of the times, but so you can use seit and seitdem with nouns. So you can use seit with nouns as well as sentences, but seitdem you can only use with sentences. We'll talk about all that. If you happen to join for the first time, just send me an email on this email address and I will add you to the group so that you get links to all the sessions. All right. Disclaimer, this is so let's talk about this. Okay, guys, don't try to read everything on the slide, just be with me. Okay. So no one is ever going to ask you, what are these called? But I mean, maybe I will ask you, if someday you want to work with me and help others learn German, I will ask you, so what are these? So you have to tell me that these are called as coordinating conjunctions, these are called as subordinating conjunctions, and these are called as like conjunctional adverbien. So they are conjunctions, but they are also adverbs. So all right. What I want you to understand is that there is no change in the sentence structure when you use these. For this category and this category, what happens for this category? What happens is that all you have to do is take the conjugated verb and push it to the last position. Okay. Remember, I say conjugated verb. Okay. So sentence can have one or more verbs, but it always has only one verb which is being conjugated. So all you have to do is take that conjugated verb and push it to the last position. What happens over here? All you have to do is that just interchange the positions of the conjugated verb and the subject. Or other ways, normally a sentence starts with subject, you know, and here it will not start with the subject, it will start with the conjugated verb. Okay, again, conjugated verb. Examples: Ich will Deutsch lernen. Okay, if you happen to use one of these, let's say aber, then nothing happens. The sentence still remains the same. Aber ich will Deutsch lernen. What, let's say if I take so lange from this category, what happens is that so the sentence normally it would have been so lange ich will Deutsch lernen, but because you use so lange, you will have to take will, which was supposed to be here, and push it to the last position. That's all. What happens over here? Again, lernen was already there. Don't say that. Okay, that's what I mean, right? Move the conjugated verb to the last position. Okay, and over here, all you have to do is that interchange the positions of subject and conjugated verb. Normally it is ich will, here it will be willish. Okay, let's play the game. So please tell me, what they all mean. These are very easy to remember, like these ones. So you don't have to like, don't wait for the others. Just tell me, aber, they, and what they mean. Maybe you can give me an example as well. So who wants to start, or do I have to pick someone?
Aber is but.
Yeah, sentence, please.
Mm, Ich mag Kaffee. Aber ich trinke Tee.
Correct. Correct. Continue.
Then is because. Um,
You can think of a daily life, and you will have a sentence. Okay, if you cannot, just continue. No problem.
und is and. Sondern.
So it is something like
Mm,
but not but. What is it?
okay.
It is rather
Oder
instead, right?
instant.
Instead or
Okay.
rather. You can also think it of as but so Zonden, rather and instead they are different from but, right? I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Continue, please.
Oder is or. Doch. Doch.
It has no meaning, but it is kind of that, whenever if I ask you, can you swim? You can say yes or no, like ja oder nein. If I ask you, kannst du nicht schwimmen? Can you not swim? Now the answer cannot be yes or no. The answer can be doch or nein. Is it clear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right? So when the answer is doch, you say doch and then doch, ich kann schwimmen.
Mhm.
There is no change in sentence structure. Then jedoch.
Jedoch. Mm,
Okay, anyone else what jedoch means? It is something like although. Okay. Uh, and now you will say obwohl also means although. Yes, but there are slight differences. It depends on the context. Okay. Then the next one is align. What does align mean normally, guys?
alone.
Alone, right? But here it can also be used as when that is like when you are using it as an adjective or an adverb, but as a conjunction it means unfortunately. But the good news for you, fortunately, is that it's very old. No one uses align as a conjunction anymore. So they still use align, but not as a conjunction. Clear what I'm saying? So no one uses align. Okay, no need to remember. As a conjunction, no one uses align as a conjunction. Any let's continue, please. If here this list.
And therefore,
Yeah, meaning, please.
Before.
Before. Yeah, before. Yeah. Uh, okay, maybe you can stop Raga. Let's see. The one who answered, can you continue or it's the same person?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead.
continue.
Go ahead. Yeah, from Nakdem.
Knock them afterwards.
Yes, afterwards or after. The difference between, so you also say, what is nak then? So when you use nak, after nak, it's always a noun. When you use nak them, you use after nak them, it is a sentence. For example, after the class, nak them course. After you do your homework, nak them then house of Gaban marks. You know what I'm saying? Difference between nak and nak them. Continue, please.
Okay. This is up to.
Right? So bis, like bis is also this, bis no and senova, but here it's a conjunction. So how do you can think of it? You cannot go outside until you do your homework. Du kannst nicht rausgehen, bis du dein Hausaufgaben machst. You know? Okay.
Yes.
Continue.
Cite or cite them.
Yeah.
Since.
Yes, right. So both are since. So seit you can use, like after seit you can have a noun or you can also have a sentence. But when you use seitdem, it must be a sentence. For example, you can say since 9 a.m. Seit 9 Uhr, right? You can also say since I am in Germany, seit ich in Deutschland bin. But you cannot say seitdem 9 Uhr. When you use seitdem, after seitdem,
Hmm.
it has to be a sentence. Continue.
Während is during.
Yes. Next one, please. Also, variant is also a preposition, right? You know, Virend is also a preposition,
Parent.
also a conjunction. We discussed this. That's why I want to ask. When you use Virend as a preposition, what comes after Virend, whether it is nominative, accusative, dative, or genitive?
Genitive.
Genitive. Very good. Continue, please.
Mm-hmm. When is, I think, when?
Uh, y- you can think of
One
it
is
as a
when.
condition. You are providing. It's if. Okay.
When is if. Okay.
Yeah.
And one is when.
One. So one is a W word, right? But it can also be used as a conjunction. Just think. Do you know when are you coming? Weißt du wann du kommst? Notice, right? I'm saying, or do you know when she wants to come? Weißt du wann sie kommen will? Weißt du wann
Mm-hmm.
sie kommen will? You can also
Common.
use it as a conjunction. Ob.
Oh, if.
Uh, you can say if, but there is a better word for if. Like if, as a, give me an example.
Uh,
Du, du entscheidest, ob draußen gehen oder Hausaufgaben machen.
Okay. I know what you're trying to say.
Or,
Your grammar is not correct, right? So because you don't conjugate the verb, but you are actually saying
um,
whether, right? So ob is whether, you know, whether
whether.
A or B. Okay. Yeah. Uh,
If also not right,
it's not. It's
if you
right.
should do
It's right. It's
homework
just
or
not the
go.
most accurate one. When you say
Okay.
if, it can also provide used to provide a condition, right? For example, uh, you know, uh, for example, how do I say this? It is going to rain when it is cloudy. It is going to rain if it is cloudy. Then you can use es wird regnen when es bewölkt ist. Okay, right? But here you cannot use ob. You know what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
So, for example, yeah, the example that you gave, right? There you had only two options. So when you use ob,
Hmm.
you will have two options only. I mean, you don't
Whether.
mention the two options, but it is kind of like a yes or no kind of question without a question mark. You know, so it's
Hmm.
a question without a question mark. Yes or no. And als?
Else. Because.
No. Okay, let's try to.
As.
Yeah.
As.
That is, yes, that is right. But as a conjunction, it means, I know you're saying, like, ich bin genauso alt wie du. I'm exactly as old as you. That is something else.
Hmm.
That is an adverb, I believe. Here is a conjunction. Uh, s- you can think for 10 seconds. If you cannot, I would like to, because I think Elizabeth also wanted to participate. I would like to give that person a chance. But thank you for participating. What I have feedback for you, I think Vishal, right? Try to when you say sentences, like, focus on the grammar. So you said du entscheidest ob draußen gehen oder drin bleiben. uh,
Hmm.
but the second sentence did not have a subject, right? So ob du draußen gehst oder drin bleibst. Du. So you said.
So, can you say the full sentence
So you
so
said,
I understand?
1 second, let me get a text box. So when you were giving example for ob, right?
Uh,
An example for ob, you said something like this, right? Can you du entscheidest?
yeah. Ob. Du
Ob.
entscheidest.
So you said ob draußen gehen
Mhm. Oder?
oder drinnen bleiben.
Mhm.
That's what you said. Again, there is nothing wrong in real life when you consider real life scenario, but the second sentence, it needs a subject, right? So you have to say, let's say if
Aha.
you're good, you will say do. When you say do,
Ob du draußen. Okay.
do gaze, you know what I'm trying to say,
Ah.
right?
Okay, okay. Understood.
Right?
Ob
Yeah.
du draußen gehst.
You can just leave it like gehen and then bleiben, but then the subject will be z. I don't think you will talk to a child with z. Yeah. Okay. All right. I hope that is clear. Elizabeth, do you want to participate? If you want to, please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, please start from here. So, do you know what als means?
Um, like als, os, like when, like
Yeah, said you
als
will give an
ich
example,
Kind, like als ich Kind war,
right? So, why
and
cannot I say seit or wenn ich Kind war? I mean, why? So, can I also say when I'm talking about as I was a kid or when I was a kid?
I think because it's like a specific time in the past
That's correct, right?
that
So,
happened.
when you can use, you can give conditions, like, or like specific time periods. Like als is, like one time event. For example, als ich mein Masterstudium abgeschlossen habe. Of course, there are people who do two, three masters, at least two masters. Even then, it will apply, right? Als ich mein erstes Master abgeschlossen habe. So als is like one time events or seemingly one time events or like rare one time events. Okay, that's correct. Continue, please.
So das, which is so that,
Yeah, so that,
and das, which is that,
right?
while, because, then das again. Is it a different
Yeah, it's
one?
the same one. Sorry, it's a mistake. It's the same one. Yeah.
Then uh, sobald, which is like as soon.
As soon as, for example, uh, uh, you call me as soon as you reach home. Du rufst mich an, sobald du zu Hause bist. As soon as, right? Then,
Then solange, which
yeah,
is as long as.
yeah, so call me as long as you are outside. Ruf mich an, solange du draußen bist. Right? But meanings are important, but focus on the sentence, the structure. The conjugated verb is at the last position. Okay, that is what is important. Continue, please.
Obwohl is although,
Yeah, I
and damit is because.
it's not because you can think of it of as thereby.
Okay.
You can think it of as thereby. Okay, continue, please.
Sonst, which is like other way, otherwise, like
Example.
um,
You can say the in
uh,
English. You can say it in German.
like uh, uh,
Study. You
wenn
should
es
study.
wegen mir
Otherwise,
nicht,
yeah. Go ahead.
uh, no, uh, treffen wir, wir treffen uns heute oder sonst sonst gehe ich zu Bett.
Correct, right? So she said gehe ich zu Bett. She did not say sonst ich gehe zum Bett because when you use sonst, like one of these, this conjunctions which are also adverbs, the verb is at just immediately after the conjugated verb is immediately after the this conjunction. Continue, please.
Deshalb is because of, or
Yeah,
um, daher, I don't know.
it's also because. I mean, but there is a difference, when to use which one. But it's fine if you don't know the difference. I mean, the difference is something, like if I ask you like how what is the difference between as a result, therefore, hence, thus. I mean, you will tell there is difference, but difference depends on the context. For example, when you are writing something, when you are proving something in mathematics, you say hence. You know, you, I hope you get my. That's how daher they mean because. Next one, please.
Deswegen is also because.
Yes.
Uh, darum is like therefore.
Yeah. Darum.
Um,
Yeah. Therefore.
aus diesem Grund is because of this
Okay. Wait.
reason.
Let me think. Deswegen is also because. Deswegen mag ich das. That's why I do that. Okay. That deswegen is not because. By the way, deswegen is therefore.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Daher is also therefore, I believe. Deshalb is also therefore. Okay, there was a mistake from my side. Deshalb, daher, deswegen, darum, they all mean therefore. Or that's why. Okay. So darum, you can think of it as right now. Darum, we saw right. Umsu. When you are giving a reason. Why did you do something? Next one,
Aus diesem Grund, because of this reason.
right? So it is not exactly the conjunction, but I want you to know this phrase right now. Like when you want to pinpoint, like a specific reason. Let's say if you and your friends, like you're decided to meet at a place, and like four of you and two of you were already there, and you happen to be go with the person who is always late, and then you of course reach the place late, and then and then the other guy is asking like, why are you late? You can just point to your friend like, I was diesem grund bin ich verspätet. I mean, just so you are just saying that. So aus diesem Grund, normally, you are pinpointing a specific scenario, but I'm just telling you an example, in a funny way. Okay, continue.
Allerdings, uh, I'm not sure.
Allerdings is something like but, but it depends on this. I mean, you can, it's something like, uh, you can, let's say when you get a German, let's say sometimes when in Germany, a visa expires and you get this Pensionsbescheinigung, So they say that, you can stay in Germany, but you cannot go outside. Also, du kannst in Deutschland bleiben, allerdings darfst du nicht draußen gehen. It's something like that. But it has more effect. Continue.
Außerdem is except for.
Yeah, except. And then the sentence. Is there a preposition which you can use to say except, so after outside them you cannot use a noun, right? You have to have a sentence. So is there a similar preposition that you can use when you say except and then noun?
Mm,
It's außer.
mm.
For example, except you, außer dir. Continue.
Au. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Auch should not be here. I believe it's a mistake. So let me just cross it out. But I mean, there is, what auch means. I believe I don't have to go. No, you know what auch means. Trotzdem,
Is
even though.
oh,
Yeah. Thank you very much. So let's, so what I want you to understand, like you can, continue adding more to this, but I think these should be fine. Like actually, you can talk about almost anything if you know these. You can add more. There is no problem, but I think these should be fine. Okay. Also, what you have to remember is that remember these rules. With this, there is no change. With these, conjugated verb is at the last position. With these, the conjugated verb is at the first position, or you can think it of as just after the conjunction. Now let's focus on these. Before, nachdem. I hope it's. I don't think it was a. Okay. Before, nachdem, bis, seit, seitdem, während. These are called as like the sentences that you build with them, right? They are called as Nebensätze. So any sentence that you build with a conjunction, they are called as Neben, subordinate clauses. But when you build with one of these five, they are called as temporal and Nebensätze because they are describing time. That's why they're called as temporal and Nebensätze. So uh, you understand the grammar, you understand the meaning. Let's do some exercises or play the game. So tell me when to use which one. Here you have like you can read these sentences, right? I will go back again. So before, nachdem, bis, seit or seitdem, während. You have to fill in the blanks for me. Uh, Anybody can unmute and answer. Like there is no.
The first one is before, I believe.
Uh, you can read the complete
Sie
sentence.
ist immer. Okay, I can.
Yeah, you can.
Sie ist immer eine Kleinigkeit, bevor sie zur Arbeit geht.
Correct. What am I trying to say?
So she eats something, always something, a snack or something
Yeah,
before she goes to job.
correct. You can
Work.
continue. I mean, if no one else wants to answer. Yeah,
Wir müssen warten, bis der Lehrer kommt.
you know, bis, or you can also say before. I mean, both are correct, right? I mean, both will make sense over here, depending on what you're trying to say, right? Next
Mhm.
one.
Ich trinke immer einen Kaffee. Äh,
Okay, wait. I don't think
während,
before will be correct. Sorry to interrupt. I don't think before will make sense. But yeah, continue, please.
äh, während ich ins Büro fahre.
So I hope you are not driving because you should not drink anything when you are. uh,
Okay.
but it's not incorrect. And you may think you may mean that you are like, sitting in a train or something, or you are like not in the driver's seat. Uh,
Mhm.
or you can also say before, right? Ich trinke immer eine Kaffee bevor ich ins Büro fahre. You can also say während. Bis will not be correct over here. So yeah,
Mhm.
continue, please.
Sie überlegt gut, sie eine Entscheidung, bis sie eine Entscheidung trifft.
So she thinks a
Thinks
lot.
well until she gets
Yeah,
she makes a decision.
yeah. Before will also make sense, right? You do it before you.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Before she makes a decision, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, like if you are describing a friend of yours and you can say, sie überlegt gut, nachdem sie eine Entscheidung trifft. Again, what I'm trying to say, all of them will make sense, but I hope you understand the meaning. Continue.
Ja. Er putzt sich die Zähne, bevor er schlafen geht.
Yeah, continue.
Wir sollten einkaufen gehen, bevor die Geschäfte schließen.
Correct. So that's correct. So I mean, everywhere before is correct. I just wanted to make you understand that you can use others ones as well. So what I wanted to pay attention to one more time is that when you use before, you know, so it belongs to the second category of conjunctions, and the conjugated verb is at the last position. Check before there, later again. Here you don't see the difference because there is no modal verb, but here you see it, right? Before Asians Bureau of Fara. I mean, here the difference is not visible, right? Because there is nothing in between the subject and the verb. You know what I'm trying to say? Yes. Anyone else wants to go? Something with CHA, and I cannot see the entire name. Or Elizabeth, yeah, no problem, you can go.
Sie liest ein Buch, während
Okay.
sie auf den Bus wartet.
Yeah, I forgot to like pull the prop. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Sie liest ein Buch, während sie auf dem Bus wartet. You can also use bis over here, right? Till she waits for the bus. Yeah. Continue, please.
Wir haben viel gelacht, während wir im Theater waren.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, here also you can use als, but if you're describing like a one-time scenario, you can also use als over here. There was this first time you went to theater, and it's you say that it was the first time wir das war das erste Mal, als wir ins Kino gingen, und wir haben viel gelacht, als wir im Theater waren. If it's a one-time scenario. Continue.
ich höre gern Musik,
Gerne.
gerne Musik, während ich koche.
Yes. So I think it's obvious that they all are variant because I forgot. Again, now here it is different. Continue here. Number 5.
Hm. Ist während des Films habe ich
But is
geschlafen.
it a conjunction over here?
No, it's what we did in the other class.
It's a preposition, right? And
Yeah.
so after this, after variant, what is it? Like nominative, dative, genitive, accusative?
Genitive.
Genitive, right? It's obvious this. Okay. Just read the last sentence, please, for me.
Wir haben uns unterhalten, während wir auf den Zug gewartet haben.
Okay. Yeah. One thing I wanted to notice is that like it's not that important because it's like it's very logical, but still I want you know it intuitively, but I just wanted to focus. So when I say Zili Steinbuch, this sentence is in present tense. When I read this sentence, Sie wartet auf den Bus, this is also present tense. Wir haben viel gelacht, is it present tense?
Past.
Past, right? Wir im Theater waren, this is also past. This is also present. So während, so verbs like während and then before, when you use them, I mean, you don't need to learn this like consciously, but you know it. When you learn them, you will normally be describing, they will be, so these conjunctions, they will be combining uh, present sentences, is what I'm trying to say. Clear what I'm trying to say? If there are any questions, please ask. You know this, I'm just trying to, point this out to you that you already know this. This one also, right? Wir haben uns unterhalten, this is present tense because you're using helping verb and participle zwei auf unterhalten. And this is also, wir haben auf den Zug gewartet. This is also participle zwei. Continue, please. Anyone else wants to go? Something with CHAN. I cannot see the entire name. I really apologize for this.
It's okay, and Chandu,
Yeah,
you can
Chandu, go
maybe okay. Wir warten hier, bis der Zug ankommt.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So
Ich
you can
bleibe.
also use before over here, right? Right. It makes sense, right? You can also go for before or no.
We can wait until the train comes. How can
Or
no?
we wait till the train comes, right? I mean, it's friend. Let's say if you are going to train station to a friend visited you and you went to the train station and the train has been delayed, right? Your friend will say go go
Mhm.
go. It's fine. I'll sit in this in this stinky place. But you'll say no no no. I'll
Mhm.
wait for you. We wait here until the train comes. Now it makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
Ich bleibe im Büro, bis meine Arbeit erledigt ist.
Yeah, it's correct. Again,
Sie
erledigt or erledigt depends on your city. Okay, so in my city we say erledigt, but I know at least in München they will say erledigt. Continue.
ja. Sie wird bei uns bleiben bis nächsten Monat.
Correct. But here, just again, so here is it? It's not a. Is it a conjunction over here?
Actually, it does not look so
So
because
it's
there is no now verb in it.
then what is it?
Then it would be a conjunction. I mean
Preposition,
preposition.
right? And you remember, right? I think in A2 we discussed this. I gave you a list of prepositions. I think also. Yeah, it was I think fourth session, right? But discuss this list of prepositions. Like I told you like accusative, dative, and I told you not to
Yes.
remember that. So it is this. It is preposition. Again, you don't have to know it like like consciously. You just know it. When you use bis, it's accusative. Continue.
Ich kann es draußen spielen, bis es dunkel wird.
Yeah, yeah. Continue.
Oder bevor es dunkel wird.
That's also correct.
Mhm. Ich werde warten, bis du zurückkommst.
Yeah.
Die Geschäfte sind geöffnet bis 20 Uhr.
Yes. So this sentence, right? Again, what I wanted to, I mean, it's very obvious. I mean, not obvious, but I mean, what is important is that you understand that the verb has been pushed to the last position. So that Zug kommt an, the train arrives or train is arriving. So normally an is at the last position, but because you used one of these conjugations which forced the verb to the last position, so an was already there, and now kommt also came here. So you just write them together. The same applies over here as well, right? Suruk comes. It's a trend baravyar. Normally you say du kommst suruk, but because you have this conjunction, you push the conjugated part to the last and they just write them together. It's very visible over here. Before normally you say es wird dunkel. It's getting darker or it will get dark, but you push the conjugated part to the last position. Continue, please. It's the answer. So yes, here.
Wir kennen uns seitdem der Schulzeit. Seit der Schulzeit.
Right. So if you say Seitdem, it's not as I said. Seit, what did I say? Can you repeat? When can you use Seit? When can you use Seitdem?
I think it's seit.
Yeah, but when can you, like, what is the rule that you have to remember? Like, when to use seit, when to use seitdem. They both mean the same, of course.
I just missed it when you said, but I remember one is for one we use the noun.
Okay, so one is for both. So seit you can use for sentence and noun as well. Seitdem you can only use for sentences. Okay,
Okay.
so seit you can use for both. You know, seit 10 Jahren, seit ich 10 Jahre alt war. But seitdem, you cannot say seitdem 10 Jahren. You can only say seitdem ich 10 Jahre alt war. Okay,
Mhm.
continue.
Ich lerne Deutsch seit einem Jahr.
You know, so I think it's obvious, right? When you use seit, so you can think it of as a preposition over here, you know, and it is dative. You know,
Mhm.
it's
Ja.
obvious, right? Yeah.
Er wohnt in Berlin seit 2010.
Yeah, continue.
Sie arbeitet in dieser Firma nach dem ihrer Abschluss, can I say? Or because it's not a temporal verb, I should still say seit.
No, so nach them you cannot say. So if you really want to say nach, you will have to say nach, right? Because I said nach. So it's the same with,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Like seit and seit them, it's the same with nach and nach
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
Nach
Der
them,
Laden ist seit gestern geschlossen.
yeah,
Äh, Seitdem wir umgezogen sind, ist das Leben ruhiger.
yeah. You can also say seit over here, but I mean,
Mhm.
focus. You know, also remember, right? So wir sind umgezogen. This is a special case of, you know, past tense, but you don't use haben helping verb. You use sein. You know, because
Mhm.
it has something to do with moving. You know, moving, traveling. You go with the sein helping verb, and it has been pushed to the last position. Okay.
Okay. Seitdem er das Buch gelesen hat, interessiert er sich für Geschichte.
Yeah. What is Gesichter then? So this is Geschichte. What is Gesichter?
Face and Stories.
So Geschichte is
Geschichte.
stories, and face is so face is Gesicht. Das
Mhm.
Gesicht, I believe, and Gesichter is like faces. You know. So remember, I mean, my friends used to make fun of this. You know, like I was never able to like I meant Schicht and I said Schicht, so they used to make fun of me. But I I mean, so please know, you know, but just focus on this. You know what I'm trying to say. You said it correctly, not trying to point your mistake. Just trying to help you. You know, in future, be careful. You know, when to say Gesicht and when you say Geschicht. Continue.
Das Telefon funktioniert nicht mehr, seit es nass geworden ist.
Okay, what am I trying to
Seitdem
say?
es nass geworden ist.
Yeah, what does nas mean?
Moist, since it became wet.
Yeah, wet. You know, so I mean, yeah, you know, nas geworden ist. Okay,
Mhm. Sie ist krank, seitdem sie aus dem Urlaub zurückgekommen ist.
right. You can also say seit, but seit them is also correct. Continue.
Mhm. Seit sie den neuen Job hat, ist sie glücklicher.
Okay, yeah. Just one tip, you know, like people say, you know, like, I mean, if you want to be sure, you know, if you want that if you're going to write an exam, use seit when it's just a noun, use seit there. Again, I said, you know, you can, in real life, you can use them interchangeably. People fight over this, you know, like you cannot do it. And if you want to avoid this fight, just seit, noun, seit them, sentence. Okay. Nach, noun, nach them, sentence. Just remember this. Okay. Please, how do I say this? How do I say this, guys? How do I say I have been learning German? So in present tense, German only has one. So how, whether it is I have been learning, I am learning, I learn, it's the same thing. How do I say I learn German?
Ich lerne Deutsch
Yeah. Now you
seit einem Jahr.
seit einem Jahr, correct, right? So you don't have to like, you know, for I mean, you know what it means. So seit einem Jahr. Ich lerne Deutsch seit einem Jahr. You can also say seit einem Jahr lerne ich Deutsch. Please. You already
Sie, sie trinkt immer Tee bevor geht sie arbeiten?
So no, no.
Zu
Before is the
arbeiten?
second category. Before is the second category.
Bevor sie arbeiten geht?
Yeah, the before sie zu Arbeit geht. Okay, so we had this discussion on A2, like where like zu an in. If you don't not sure, let me just repeat it one more time. Okay, if you're not sure, like how to. So we have this an zu, so you can say gehen in zu. So in if I say, let's say, if I meet you, if I call you and I say, I am going, ich gehe ins Fitnessstudio, that means I will be going inside the fitness studio. I will be going inside the gym. If I say ich gehe zum Fitnessstudio, it means I will be just going in the direction of fitness studio. Maybe I have something nearby that place. I'm going in that direction. And when you use in, it is accusative. When you use zu, it is dative. To, so dative, zu Arbeit. So zu der Arbeit, Arbeit is die Arbeit. So zu der Arbeit, it becomes zu Arbeit. Questions?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone?
Wir warten hier, bis der, bis der, bis der Bus, no, bis der Bus ankommt. Ankommt.
So normally,
Ankommt.
yeah, that's correct. So normally you say der Bus kommt an, but here, okay, I did not write it, but it is Bus ankommt is more correct. Okay, it is my mistake. It should be ankommt.
Ich lese ein Buch, bevor ich schlafe ein.
No. So you have to push the verb to the last position.
Ich einschlafe.
Yeah, bevor ich einschlafe. Again, I mean, it has nothing to do with conjunction, but I just want to see if you can answer this question.
Das Film dauert 2 Stunden.
Okay, film is there, the or das.
Der,
It's there.
Das.
It's not the for sure. It's their film. Okay, you can also say das film. I think people fight over it, but I think it is there. You can also say das, it's still fine. You can replace sport with fitness studio. Gym.
Isst einen Apfel, bevor ins Fitnessstudio
Yeah,
geht.
correct.
Ich rufe dich an.
Yeah.
Nach ich meine Hausaufgaben. I don't know what to say to finish.
Let's say, if you definitely have to answer, what will you say? What verb can you use? Let's say not finish. Any other verb you can use. I do my homework, right? I complete my homework. Mark, right? But nak is not. Nak is, I said, when you use nak, it has to be noun. Here it is a sentence, so you will have to use nak them. Now, one more time, give the correct sentence, please. By the way,
Ich
anyone
rufe
else?
dich.
One second. Anyone else knows want to help her, like how to say finish in terms of homework?
Fertig machen?
Yes,
Will it
finish.
make
Okay,
any
yes, that's
Okay.
all. One answer. What else? Okay. Erledigen is also one. Fetish machen is trennbare, so be careful. Okay. Now fetish machen, you can go for it. Please answer now. The one who was answering before.
Uh, is it fetish marken?
Yeah, fetish machen, and fetish is a prefix, so it has to be separated.
Okay. Ich rufe dich an. Nach dem ich meine Hausaufgaben fertig mache.
Marker. You can bend. I don't think bend is the correct one. But if you notice, please mute yourself. Okay. If you notice, this is something important. So when we looked at before, when we looked at where, and I told you, right? So both the sentences are in the same tense, present, present, past, past. But if you notice over here, what is happening? Ich werde dich anrufen, nachdem ich meine Hausaufgaben beendet habe. So this one is in you can also say ich rufe dich an. You can also say ich werde dich anrufen. Again, if you're translating literally, then it will. If you are doing one-to-one translation, then you'll have to say, because it is future, you will have to say werde. But what I wanted to focus on is that this sentence is in future tense and this one is in past tense. What am I trying to say? When you use nachdem, the tenses will be different. But it's obvious, right? When you use nachdem, that means what you're trying to say, blah blah, nachdem, blah blah. The second blah blah is a finished thing. So you say sentence one, nachdem, sentence two has finished. You know what I'm trying to say? So if with the logic that you normally we say, the logic, this is, you already know this, but I want you to make sure that you understand this. Sentence one, nachdem, sentence two. It can be like this as well, like, so you don't have to like nachdem. So what I'm trying to say is that, so er ist ein Afel, bevor er zum Sport geht. You can also say it like this: bevor er zum Sport geht, ist er ein Afel. Okay, but let's go back. So when you use nachdem, right? So this sentence is one tense before this sentence. Clear what I'm saying? So whatever sentence comes after nachdem is going to be before the other sentence. So if it is like this one, nachdem, instead of 1 2, if I go for sentence, increase the size a little bit, nachdem, sentence A, sentence B. So here sentence A will be one tense behind sentence B. You know what I'm trying to say? So if this sentence A is in present tense, sentence B, so if so just look at, if this sentence one is in present tense, sentence two has to be in past tense. If sentence one is in, if you are describing this in past tense with the help of perfect, this one you will have to describe with the help of participes, plusquamperfect. We looked at this, right? So when you talk about past, you can use perfect, and there is this plusquamperfect. I gave this example about my flatmate. He is like, ich habe uh, das Wohnzimmer sauber gemacht, and I will say, no, no, du hattest das Wohnzimmer sauber gemacht. So you did it like way back. So is it clear what I'm trying to say? Otherwise, please ask question. So I'm saying there will be a difference in the tense of the sentence. So whichever tense this sentence has, the sentence after nachdem will be one tense behind. If not clear, guys, please ask. This one.
Can we use als here?
Not really. I mean, when you use als, it has to be a sentence.
Okay.
Yeah, as a conjunction. When you use als as a conjunction, it has to be a sentence. You can also use als in a different way, right? Er ist genauso gut wie dich, or er ist besser als. We had this comparing, but here als is a conjunction, but you cannot use it because when you use als, you have to say a sentence. So you have to use something else.
Okay. Seit.
Seit, right? Say the sentence, please.
Uh, wir sind Freunden seit Kindergarten.
Correct. Or sometimes you can again. I don't. You can. I mean, I think in B2 when we do this in January February we start with those sessions. I will tell you, you can actually play with the sentence structure. Like for example, I normally say, here I write wir sind seit dem Kindergarten Freund. It's not incorrect. You can still write it. So only the position of the verb is fixed and the position of the subject is fixed related to the verb. Either before or after. Anything after that, you can play with it. But I don't recommend that right now, but we'll do that in B2. Okay, next one. Okay, you don't have to, like, you can also say it like they will stay at the beach until the sun sets or the sun goes down. If you don't know how to say sunset, but you should know how to say sunset because I had told you to, remember, like, find out the German words for sunrise, sunset, morning, evening, if you remember. I think it was the fourth session. Sorry, fifth session. Okay, how do I say they will stay at the beach?
Wir bleiben am Strand
Yes.
bis
Come on.
Sun. No,
Every day
I
you
don't
check
know.
the weather app, right? You check when the sunset is happening, especially now in winter time. So it's Sonnenuntergang. Okay, and what is sunrise?
Aufgang.
Correct. But here I use a verb, bis die Sonne untergeht. Again, you don't have to say it. You can just say, bis Sonnenuntergang. This is interesting because it requires you to think of adjective ending as well, if you know what I mean.
Sie arbeitet hier seit ähm, letzter Woche. Letzten Monat.
Okay. So this is you have to. So monat is correct, but letster, whether it is letztes, letztem, how do you know? So you have to think that the trick that I told you, right? So there is no article. If there was an article, it would have made much more sense, right? But there is no article. So what did I tell you? If there is no article, how do you guess the adjective ending?
Did you?
Bestimmt da.
It should be M, I guess.
And
Like
why it
how
should
it
be
should have ended, like with Zeit. If it's dative, then it should be M. If it's
your
nominative,
answer is correct. Your answer is correct, but why? Like, what is the logic that you used in your head? What did you think about? If you don't mind explaining.
if it's a best-named article, what would be the ending? We try to sound just like it.
Come on, perfect. You made me so happy. Someone remembered that logic. So what the logic that she used is, she said it perfectly. I will just try to explain that. So how you think of articles when there is if there is an article, it's much more easier to figure out. If there is no article, you just assume what would have be if it was. So monad is masculine, their monad, and their in dative becomes them, and you just remove the d and m, you add that to the adjective. If month for some reason in another universe, if it was feminine, let's say if it was okay, if it was walker, like what would it be if it is
The
walker?
uh, let's say Walker.
Leicester, right? Because now again no article, so think what is the in dative there, remove d, air, Leicester. Okay, so let's time monad. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I used an article over here. If there should not be any article. So Zeit letzter Monat. Okay. Yeah. Uh, but thank you very much, for that answer. It really made my evening. Continue. Come on.
Ich warte, bis du zurückkommst.
Correct. Or you can also, so there is nothing wrong in that, but you can also say ich werde warten or ich warte. It's the same thing. Bis du zurückkommst. Okay. Again, like this, you may think, when am I, like, this sounds from like a romantic movie, but you can also use it, and like many different, you don't have to use it as it is, but you can pick up the verbs, warten, zurückkommen. You can pick up the verbs here and there. zurückgeben, zurückfahren, nachkommen, abkommen, ankommen, stuff like that. Continue. You can replace magazine with a book. I don't mind. Come on.
Seit and Schrift.
Yeah, but the sentence, please. That's correct. Zeit. No, it's just Zeitschrift, not Zeit. That's just Zeitschrift. And whether it is der, die, or das,
Das.
no, it is the.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Just check. I'm just like it's my gut feeling. It is the. Just check. So how do I say this? Let's go with the. Sorry, mas. Yeah. What is the sentence? He reads. Come on.
Er liest einen Buch. I'll just replace with the book.
Yeah.
Einen Buch, während er
Book
auf
is
einem
book.
Zug
Das book.
wartet.
Book is das book.
Das Buch.
No, you said eine book. That's why I'm correcting you.
Ein Buch,
Yeah, ein book.
während er auf einen Zug wartest. Er wartest oder wartest.
No,
Wartet.
wartet. So, Zug is what? Der, die, das.
Der
Zug.
Der Zug. So it should be auf
Den Zug.
den Zug, right? So we always have these tricks, so how to remember like for like gender of like some common verbs, right? So how do I remember this Zug? There is this phrase. It's a German phrase. I think you can figure out what it means. What does it mean? So what does it
Train
mean?
left.
Yeah, literally mean. Someone gave the answer. Please repeat.
The train has left.
The train has left, right? For example, in life sometimes you have scenarios, right? You want to do something, but that opportunity just is not there anymore. Then we say the train has left, bro. Maybe wait for the next time. For example, there is a in 2020 all the stocks went down and you could have bought like very good companies at a very cheaper price. And now, but the train has left. In 2008 also we had chances, or uh, I hope you know what I'm saying. So this is, I remember this phrase for some reason. I use it a lot of time, and I remember that's how I remember that. So this is just one trick. Remember phrases, and then you will know. So whenever I have to think what is zu, there, die, das, I remember this phrase pops up in my mind. Okay, guys, we have only 2 minutes left. We'll continue doing the exercises, but I just have one announcement to make.